What is going on? Welcome to Heaven on Earth Astrology. I am Michael, the Leo Mystic. This is where I channel the astrological guidance for the 1st of November until the 7th. And we have pretty much one of the most intense weeks since a long time. As we have Mars in Scorpio, Sun in Scorpio, Mercury is coming in Scorpio. These are diving deep. And I'm about to tell you something about a cycle that I discovered between Sun and Mars coming in Scorpio, which is extremely rare. And there is some pattern to it. But before I go there, we have a new moon in Scorpio coming up. So obviously new moon cycle, the start of a cycle. I have the new moon spiritual guide, the monthly new moon and full moon spiritual guide that you can download. It's for free. Go and get it. I put it in the description below. And obviously that comes with a new moon Kundalini yoga class, which you can sign up for. And so this new moon spiritual guide is really to help you in these times. These are difficult times. That's why I put it out for free. And where you can analyze yourself, learn more about the new moon in Scorpio. What's the general meaning? What are the aspects? What does it mean in detail for you? And how can you deal with it? It contains a mantra for this month, a meditation for this month, so it really, really goes in depth. So check it out. Lastly, too, I have we have a guest speaker in the Heaven on Earth community. And, if you're not in the Heaven on Earth community, which you can sign up for every month, every change of zodiac signs, you can join in with that guest speaker. We are going to talk about sexual empowerment, and we're going to bring up the topic of sex. I'm going to interview Michelle. She's a sexologist. You don't really say that. Sexual therapist and psychologist. And we're going to dive deep into what, is sex in relationships and how can we explore it together, how we can get into the tantra of things in, self-pleasure too. And sex is a taboo topic. How can we open it up and how can we have healthy sex, with all the porn going on right now and just like the patriarchy, as in objectifying women. What if you cry during sex and all those things we're gonna bring to the surface. That's all Scorpio season, and it is all thanks to the Heaven on Earth community theme. So anyway, you can sign up for that. The link is in the description below. Good. Okay. I'll tell you, this is a challenging week. And at the same time, passionate, intense, an exposure of truths, deep truths. Deep truths, and a need in a way. I think the word necessity of evolution is so real here. The necessity to get into cataclysm, into crisis. We are in the midst of crisis with the whole situation in the world going on right now, but we are ready to dive deep. We are ready to go into moments, to dive deeper, to dive so deep that we've never done before, really. Mars is in Scorpio right now. Sun is in Scorpio. And that brings up the passions, the heat, the detective mode. If there's something that you want to do and like that you're afraid of, there's the courage that you can find within it where you can explore so deeply, get into the detail so badly, dig up truths, go the extra mile, and I think that's what at the same time, what's going to happen this week. We're being pushed by the universe into the deepest of the deep that we've ever been. Pluto in Capricorn there, finishing almost up. This is really, I would say, the extreme intensity, And there's a cycle that I discovered whilst exploring this forecast. There's a cycle of Mars does, it takes Mars 2 years to go around the zodiac and the Sun 1 year. So they're not always together in Scorpio. As a matter of fact, there are periods and there are fixed cycles, less or more, of 11 years not being together in Scorpio. And then for the next 8 years, every 2 years, right? So 4 times they are together in Scorpio. And there is a pattern in that at least since 2004, that first the Sun every other year, right, comes first in Scorpio, then Mars joins, and then it flips. There's 2 times of the 4, the last 2 times, where Mars comes into Scorpio first, and then the Sun comes into Scorpio. And that has been going on since 2004, and that way of, cycle ends in 2025. So it's interesting that started also, a new cycle. It didn't, since 2019, it was since 2010 that did not happen, that they were together in Scorpio. So that was 9 years. So there's something there. Normally it's 11. Anyway, I'm exploring this. This is all new, but I'm about to tell you what it means in just a second, at least as much as I know, because it'd be interesting. If you are an astrologer, or if you, maybe now with Sun in Scorpio, it's the moment to do that. But I've literally searched so much to find this kind of knowledge, but it's not out there. I haven't found it. I'm pretty sure there are astrologers that know and that will tell me something about this. But when I did my Google research, at least, and I don't have any books on that, I didn't find it. So what could it mean? Because let me be very clear. This is something I discovered. It's a cycle I discovered. And you'd have to dive deep and back into the history of, it'd be interesting to see. I went back until let me tell you. I went back until 1957, right? And then it happened for 3 cycles until 1961. That didn't happen for 11 years, 1972, 1974, 1976, 1978. 4 times. So then it didn't happen until 1989. This is 12 years. No, sorry, it's 11 years. 11 years, right? So there's a cycle of 11 years in between. 1989, 1991, 1993, 3 times, not 4. And then it didn't happen for another 11 years, 2004, 2006, 2008, 2010. And then it didn't happen for 9 years. And that's the interesting part. So normally it takes 11 years. Again, in 2036, it will happen again. In 2053, and there's all 11 years in between, except between 2010 and 2019, there's 9 years in between. I find that interesting. It'd be interesting to see what happens in each of these cycles, that it happens, that the conjunction every other year, that what happened there, and to compare it with now. And what happens when the Sun enters first versus the Mars enters first? What influence does that have? I don't know. What I can say is that, when you have Sun and Mars together in Scorpio, there's light Sun to the most unconscious desires, the most dark shit ever. And Mars in Scorpio cuts through the bullshit and does kind of a cleanup. There's the power, Scorpio, power to dive deep, to go as courageous. This is like, I would say even hooligans. That's hooligan shit, where you are just like, let's fucking fight. And you are not afraid. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like every other person and says, you know what, I'm not even scared either, let's go, motherfucker. And it's that Sun, Mars, and Scorpio. It like, you don't retrieve, you know, you go all in and you're not afraid. There's courage in that. And it's like diving for light. You go through the hero's journey intense. So it seems to me too that, interestingly, just an observation, if November 2019 was the first time in 9 years that the Sun came first, when the Sun comes first in Scorpio, that means that Mars is in Libra, right? And Scorpio makes Mars important. So Mars in Libra is about justice, is about fighting for balance and harmony. And November 2019, obviously, is when you know what hit. Something with a co and then it ending in vid, and then something with 19. And the cycle is going to end in 2025, interestingly, which is 6 years, which, if you think about it, okay, 2012 is the prophecy of the Mayans. 2012 until 2025 is 13 years. So let's say roughly a cycle of 7 years is the midpoint. If you count 2012 until 2019, it's a 7-year cycle. 2019 is in the middle. That's the midst of the shit. And 2025 is when, you know, that cycle supposedly would end of being in the most darkest of shit. So what I'm seeing, what I'm just guessing, and there's another 11 years of nothing. You know, I don't know what happened between 24 and 2010. If someone knows, let me know. It'd be interesting to know. But I'm just seeing a correlation for now, intuitively. This is not a fact, okay? I'm just intuitively channeling. And I'm just putting stuff out there. That what happened, or there's at least more higher, intense, scary things going on, you know, going through the darkness together in these cycles. And I feel that that's what's going on. And now, November 2021 is the second time of that 4 times cycle. And it'd be interesting to see, because these were 2 times where the Sun came first, 2019, 2021. And then since October 2023, which interestingly is when Pluto, I think so. I think Pluto is going to enter in Aquarius in 2024. When Mars comes first, which is like head first. Sun in Scorpio brings first light to the darkness. And Sun in Scorpio points to Mars, and Mars is then in Libra, 2019, 2021, which is about fighting for justice and fighting for balance. But when Mars comes into Scorpio, it's as if like, you know, the Sun is in Libra, so we're trying to hold balance, but we're going deep first. Like we're going like without seeing anything. There's more bravery, more courage. And it's like, maybe, I don't know, at least we then are seeing where there needs to be balance. I don't know, that's just what I'm thinking. But when Mars comes to Scorpio first, it's as if like we're dipping our foot in the water without even checking whether there's a crocodile or not. So I feel like 2023, 2025 is going to be even worse. I'm not sure. Anyway, just some thoughts to share with you. I feel that this cycle is related with intensity. And if you think about it too, like 2004 until 2010, you know, linking that to the I'm not going to go too technical, but the South Node in Sagittarius, which was in 2001 and now happening in 2020 and 2021, every 18 to 19 years, which the South Node in Sagittarius in 21 was linked to obviously 9/11 and then increasing security, and then something with privacy, you know, not being as honest. And now guess what's happening in terms of privacy too. So you could say that 2004 until 2010 was like, since Scorpio deals with secrets, like lies behind the scenes, now too are moments where those things are happening behind the scenes even worse than we can even imagine. So anyway, maybe that's a little bit too much technical information, but I feel like I want to share this and I want to put this out, and I wanted to share with you my thoughts because I feel it is important, and it is important to highlight that we're in very dark times. But in very dark times is when we are able to, face the most demons within ourselves and transform. So at least that's what Sun and Mars in Scorpio is going to do, and it's going to give you the power to do so. Besides that, we have a new moon in Scorpio coming up, 4th of November. So check out the new moon cycle spiritual guide in the details below, where in the description below, where I go in very much detail, much more than here. But I can tell you that the new moon in Scorpio is your call to clear your karmic relationships. One is your call to a more bravery, courageous, whatever you want to face a fear. What fear do you want to face? As well as in terms of death or, partnerships, going into business together, buying a house together. How do you want to manage those things? And let me tell you that this is going to be opposing Uranus in Taurus, exactly to the degree. This is going to bring unpredictability. This is going to bring shocking surprises about your darkest shit, about, your fantasies, your sexuality, another point you want to set intentions around. How do you want to renew opposing Uranus, bring renewal to your sexual life? And it's going to happen in and of itself, right? I mean, but you get the power of Uranus with you. To manifest, to catapult yourself either to the heavens or be catapulted by other people, squaring Saturn in Aquarius, by a force of rules, by a force of regulations, lockdowns, all those things. Saturn is in Aquarius, squaring that new moon in Scorpio and squaring and Uranus. So it's the future versus the past, and it is asking that you face new moon in Scorpio, face Uranus and Taurus, the future. Face where you are holding on to old patterns. Face where you are not allowing to evolve and grow. Face where you are, maybe integrating those visions, or where you are not integrating those visions of the future. But what's definitely sure is that if you keep playing small, if you don't, start consciously developing a relationship with yourself or other people and do your inner shadow work, Scorpio, Saturn in Aquarius opposing Uranus in Taurus too, the new moon, it's going to bring you unpleasant surprises. It's going to wake you up in a not pleasant way. It's in the way that Saturn Aquarius, that is this. It's like a shock on your nervous system. You taking that. It is also technology, man. This is technology shit. Uranus, and then Saturn in Aquarius. This is science intervening with the darkest parts of yourself, uncovering in a way. You could call that the metaverse. It's so deep. It's also, like I say, we have Saturn Aquarius, which is other people, which is the group, which is community, that are gonna put their rules on you and take you into the most darkest of who you are, and you can't escape it. and it's going to catapult you even more deeper. So it can get really nasty. It can be so tough and painful, but not if you consciously, again, look at yourself. If you just, I think the most important thing is just breathe and focus on the things you're grateful for. It's the only thing you need to do, really. The only thing you need to do is, what do we have? What can we work with? And, you know, it's your duty, your obligation to yourself and other people to reach out to other people, to speak with other people. You know? If you're in the darkest of moments, by the way, I really want to urge you, these are the perfect times to face that and to do something about it. This is the courage. This is your call. All right? Now, I want you to know there's adjustments needed. We got the Sun in Scorpio in conjunct the North Node. It's in conjunct Chiron in Aries. And we got Mars in Scorpio in conjunct the North Node in Gemini. What does that mean? It means that we are really seeing where we have courage. We can find in our deepest dark that courage to act, right? But the in conjunct to Chiron Aries says, wherever you are seeing your power, you are not putting it outside in action. So there's an adjustment needed where you need to take action on the things that you discover within yourself. And there's a discrepancy there. There's something that you notice, an awkwardness. You're seeing your power and you're like, I'm not doing it. And it feels so fucking weird. And then that Mars in Scorpio in conjunct the North Node in Gemini. This is all happening, by the way, in the beginning of the week. Just before the North Node, just before the new moon, and together with the new moon as well. That is saying that, you know, you're sometimes maybe judging a little bit too fast the cover or the book by its cover, and you're not North Node in Gemini checking the facts. You are too rapidly drawing conclusions or too rapidly removing something of its value. And interestingly, we got Mercury trine Jupiter that day, which, you know, this is ideas flow. We have insights. We see visions of the future. We have the power more than ever. Okay, I really want you to know, more than ever, to connect, to speak out, to interchange ideas, to come up with insights, like have revelations. But the problem is Moon in Virgo square Venus in Sag is the wants is to go out and explore, but our, you know, inner need, which our wants are rational. They want to get it. We think like, oh yeah, wow, I want this. I want to connect. It is looking beautiful, but our need is like to look for what is going wrong. So there is an optimism that I really want to invite you to, if you go so dark, to look for the beautiful things, to look for the optimistic things, to reach out to people and to talk together. These are perfect times to, you know, that there's going to be a lot of arguments, know that there's going to be a lot of judgment. So if you keep then the balance with like, okay, you know, maybe we're going a little bit too much in detail here. Maybe we're going a little bit too much out of in the pessimistic way. Let's look at what the other side of it is. And if, on the other hand, too, if we're like, oh my God, you know, seeing it too optimistic and there hasn't been any argument, there hasn't been any critical analysis, that's what you need to do. Okay, so it's keeping that balance there, but keep the flow of communication, keep talking, keep the dialogue going. This is so important. Keep the flow of information, let it come. And look at it, analyze it, you know, let it flow. Yes, let it come, explore. And at the same time, this is like rinse and repeat. Like, okay, yes, one more. Wait a second. Well, what is this? Okay, yeah, I think we got it. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's go. Let's now go to another. Let's not keep there. Let's go to another subject. And that's what's the invitation for this week. Which is going to lead to a new moon in Scorpio that you've sifted through some of your stuff. You sifted through, you've really done your work in talking with other people. And then lastly, I want to talk about Mercury coming in Scorpio and Venus in Capricorn, making a sextile immediately, in conjuncting the North Node, both. So there's a freaking Yod, the finger of God right there. And Mercury coming in Scorpio is intensifying more and is, aiding with our research that we can do. And it's going to bring even more revelations, and we can get to the bottom of things. We're the detective. If there's anything that you wanted to study, if there's anything you wanted to figure out, if there's anything, a face you wanted to fear, this is now. And then, with Venus in Capricorn, this is loyalty, this is integrity. And there's a certain kind of loyalty, an integrity, a certain partnerships that the bonds that we have, we can trust. Mercury in Scorpio, honesty. With Venus in Capricorn, integrity and relationship that are serious and committed. And with these bonds, with the Yod over to North Node in Gemini, there's together, we got to do research. Together, we got to trust each other blindly, and work together, communicate together. And there is, I think that Yod is going to catapult us into a certain kind of truth. That Mercury in Scorpio, and then Venus in Capricorn points to the South Node there being the apex, or that would at least make like kind of a kite-ish thing. So that South Node in Sagittarius there is important as well. And it is, it's as if the past is coming to life. It's as if the past can bring us some hope. The past can bring us new perspectives and is unexpectedly bringing us a gift of information, an important key communication, key word, key symbol. Look out for symbols, words that can make a difference in your life. Oof. Man, this is all channeled shit. Wow. I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, that's this astrological week. Let me know what you think of it. What is your favorite moment? And what are you going to wish for with the new moon? Let me know in the comments down below. Looking forward to see you soon. Much love, the Leo Mystic. Peace.